Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new series that I'm going to be starting. I don't exactly know what it's called, but it's going to be about my favorite reality stars, and I'm going to try to choose one from. I'm going to try to choose them from different shows at first, and then maybe if I do all the shows, then I'll choose from the same show. But yeah, I'm going to start off with somebody that's actually a celebrity because he was on the Celebrity Apprentice, the very first season of that, and it was the seventh season of The Apprentice. Um, he's a journalist or a newspaper editor or something, and he was a judge on Britain and America's Got Talent for a few years each, and his name is Piers Morgan. So yeah, we're gonna talk about why his strategy worked, why he was the power player, and why he won in the end. And then we'll talk about some funny moments on the way. But yeah, I'd say overall, let's just talk a little bit about Pierce's character on the show. So basically, he's how he is on America's Got Talent. He's basically just a brutally honest person, and he's not afraid to argue back with somebody who will challenge him. And I think that's probably what makes him a winner. Is that just he has that winner type personality where he will do his best to win anything. He'll do anything to win, and I think that's why he won, because he has like that drive to win. And also, he has a bunch of rich friends. So, let's just start off right away with episode 1. He literally charges $100 for a hot dog just because people get to take a picture with a few celebrities that nobody knows. I think that was it actually worked out in the end because the guys won, and the guys won. The team that Pierce was on almost won every single challenge, which is hilarious. And yeah, I'd say that the funniest part of that episode was when Pierce was arguing with, I think, a Jewish guy. The Jewish guy was trying to give him like $5, then Pierce gives him back 20 or something, or like give him 20 for 5, and then just give 15. I think that's what it was. I think the Jewish guy had like $20, and then Pierce he was asking Pierce for $5 in cash. And then Pierce is like, "Nope, stop embarrassing yourself. Get out of here," or something like that. That was hilarious. And yeah, and then we skip over to episode 5, where he starts a fake argument with a guy, and he literally causes the guy to quit because the fake argument turns into the guy misinterpreting it and spying on the girls' team, and then sending the guys information about the girls' ideas, and then telling the girls that he told the guys about their idea, basically becoming a double agent. And he quit because he felt like both teams wouldn't accept him, and like neither team would accept him. And he's like, I just don't want to deal with Pierce anymore, so I will respectfully resign. And then it took Trump a little while to accept it, but he accepted it. Mostly because they had to fill out the rest of the runtime, because I think like within like 10 or 15 seconds of them getting in there, Trump's like, "Vinny, why aren't you sitting down?" And he's like, "Because I'm quitting." It was amazing. That was just probably the funniest thing ever. And then we skip over to episode 10, which is where... actually, let's talk a little bit about Omarosa and Pierce's, battle against each other. So basically, Pierce and Omarosa argue about each other, but Pierce, he'll, call her a name or something, but then Omarosa's approach is just going after his personal life, like his kids, his family, and other problems with them. And it's kind of funny because Pierce said that allegedly that she wanted to have a showmance with him, but when he said no, she's like, "What, are you gay?" or something like that. And it was like, and he literally, that story was from a few years ago. I don't know if it's true because it's alleged, but let's be honest, it's probably true. I don't know the girl personally, but she'd probably get rejected by everybody just from how she was on that show. She was kind of rude. Like, Piers was rude, but, like, yeah, he's also, like, that's for strategy. She was just rude because she's a jerk. And, alright, fine. This is not PG. She's a bitch. There you go, she was a bitch. And she got what she deserved in episode 10. When Piers, like, absolutely obliterated her team. Like, they were completely demolished. Piers' team raised about $125, I think, is what they said. And then Omarosa's team, like, literally, I think, sold $7,000. $7,000 literally is nothing because they were selling art. So it's like basically one painting, which is honestly really embarrassing for her. And she even said that she got eliminated on that challenge in a previous season, which I did not see that season, so I don't know. But yeah, I don't even know why she was there. She wasn't a celebrity. I think that Trump just brought her back because she was on a couple of seasons of the show before that, and it's like, oh, I guess I'll have one of the people who was already on the show come back, and I guess I'll choose her because she's so dramatic and will cause the most chaos out of anybody. But I guess he was not prepared for Piers, which was honestly hilarious just because of the fact that she got destroyed, and then her defense. Like, Trump's like, why should I choose Steven over you? Because Steven literally did nothing. He raised no money for the challenge whatsoever. But she ended up getting fired in the end because she was like the worst project manager. She lost all 3 times she was project manager. And basically her defense was that calling Piers gay. She's like, well, I think he's like in the closet or something. And Trump's like, what? Piers, get in here, defend yourself. And Piers, literally, his defense is just to walk in, lean over and kiss Trace Adkins on the cheek and say, you beautiful cowboy, and then just walk out. And he literally has like the most confident walk and like the most cocky smile ever. He's like he looks so arrogant just because he knows that Omarosa is just getting destroyed by like the ultimate comeback ever. And then of course Trump's laughing, Pierce's team's laughing, Pierce is laughing, of course Omarosa's just confused, and then poor Trace Adkins is like traumatized. So yeah, anyway, and then we can move on to Final Four, which I think was episode 12. Yeah, 12. And basically, there were interviews. The interviewers hated Piers, liked everybody else. But yeah, they hated Piers, which is funny because Piers thought they'd love him. But they hated him, and Trump kept him anyway because of the fact that there was another guy in the Final Four, Lennox Lewis, who was also British, and he talked, like, he literally was saying the best things about Piers. He's like, yeah, so basically, Piers is like, Lennox Lewis wouldn't be here without me, and he's like, and Lennox Lewis is like, yeah, he helped me a lot, but I also helped him a lot, and I feel like he wouldn't be here without me. And then Piers is like, well, I don't think that's the case. I raised the most money, and he's just going back and forth. Then in the end, Lennox Lewis says more positive things about Piers than he does about himself. And yeah, he gets out right away, basically. Like, he just lets them go back and forth for a little bit. Trump asks him a few questions, and yeah, like in the end, after that's done, he just automatically fires Lennox Lewis. Which I think was hilarious, that some guy literally was so, like, just literally talked himself out of winning just so that Piers could win. I think that was hilarious. And yeah, overall, Piers was like sometimes a nice guy after somebody would get eliminated or somebody would get out, but most of the time he was just didn't really care, and he was like, yes. He's basically like celebrating. Especially when Omarosa got out, he wouldn't shut up about how, like, well, Trump literally said that it was like the biggest slaughter in Apprentice history. Which he did, but like, literally, it was like the first 5 minutes of the next episode was just Piers saying that over and over and over again. And people were getting annoyed by it. And I thought, like, wow, he's really annoying people. I think they're going to talk bad about him and get him out. But nope, he makes finale. And, of course, for the finale, I guess I'll talk a little bit about that really quick. Basically, Piers says that, like, hey, Trace Atkins, since you are a musician, you control the music and the decoration, I'll take auction and catering. But the funny thing is, Piers basically hides the catering and basically just wants the caterers to serve drinks so that the celebrities will all get drunk and spend a bunch of money. Which actually did not work out, but it sounds like a good plan for, like, that type of guy that he is. But it didn't really work, but he still ended up raising over $300,000. Compared to Trace, I don't even know how much he got, but he didn't really get that much. But yeah, Pierce raised way more money because there was this one guy who bidded $100,000 on two different things, and then he called in Simon Cowell for the last product, or not the last product, the last auction item, and he bidded also $100,000 and won. So yeah, he literally got. And then earlier, I don't know if I mentioned that, but Gordon Ramsay actually sent a guy to buy art from Piers. I didn't even know that Piers knew Gordon Ramsay, but I guess all the British people know each other. I didn't know that. And then Trump said that he was friends with Simon Cowell. I didn't know that either. But yeah, basically, let's go over why Piers won and why I think he won and why he definitely deserved it. Basically, he won almost every challenge. He raised the most money for his charity. He was the most honest, and he literally just, he did not care. He was literally the reason for a lot of people's eliminations, and he's a very convincing guy, and he's definitely the better businessman. So that's basically what he said in his speech to why he should win. He's like, you know, if we were playing the good guy competition, then Trace will win like a heartbeat, but me, I'm the better businessman. Because yeah, you need to be more of like that. You need to have that sort of edge, that ruthlessness, to be a good businessman. And Trump agreed apparently because he chose Pierce to win, even though everybody that was eliminated was like not Pierce. They were like Trace should win, except for like one girl who said Pierce should win. But like I feel like I could even hear like the audience like slightly booing him when he walked out. But yeah, it's hilarious because like Pierce, even though he raised like the most money, was the obvious winner. He's like kind of an underdog, I guess, as far as popularity. But the good thing about Trump's that he didn't care about popularity, and he chose him because he was the right choice. And yeah, overall, I think I'm gonna end it there. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I didn't know that all the British people knew each other. It was pretty good to learn. And yeah, I think that was the first season I ever watched of The Apprentice, and I'm definitely gonna watch more because there's a few seasons with Lil Jon. I'm definitely gonna watch those because big Lil Jon fan. So to all the people who didn't think my strategy would actually work in any real reality show, it did work. It worked for Pierce. He was mean, then he realized he was being kind of too harsh or something, I guess. So he like tried to be nice, and he faked being nice for like an episode or two. I don't even know if it was a full episode, but it worked. He went back to being mean. He actually survived long enough to go back to being mean. That never works out for him. I usually am mean the whole game, and then like I'm nice last second, then get eliminated. So it works for him. So overall, it's actually an actual strategy you can use. And anyway, to my friends who doubted that strategy, suck it, losers.